Hello everyone, I'm OG Cap. As a change of pace, I decided to pull away from talking about individual movies and focus on individual actors. I will include fun facts about them in real life as well as how they are in movies. It will be part of a series called Man, Myth, or Legend. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let me know if you like what you're seeing. This video will be focused on the life and career of a guy that has a reputation of being nice and genuine. Chapter 1. Keanu Reeves. The Canadian actor had his first feature film role with a small part in 1986 in Youngblood. The stars of the film were Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, and Cynthia Gibb. His first lead role was in a 1988 movie called Permanent Record. The film deals with the profound effects of suicide and how friends and family worked their way through the grief. His breakthrough role came in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989. Keanu starred with Alex Winter and comedy legend George Carlin. Who can forget the time-traveling phone booth? They travel through time to assemble historical figures for their high school history presentation. The goal is to ace their history report to be able to graduate. They meet multiple historical figures including Napoleon, Billy the Kid, and Socrates. They stop in 15th century England where they fall in love with Princesses Joanna and Elizabeth. Knights attack them and damage the phone booth. The booth takes them to 2688, its origin, where they discover the society reveres them and their future band. Keeping busy, Keanu had a supporting role in Ron Howard's Parenthood in 1989 as well. This film gave him the chance to work with accomplished comedy actors such as Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. In 1991, he co-starred with Patrick Swayze in his first action movie, Point Break. Keanu plays Johnny Utah, a former Ohio State quarterback and rookie FBI agent. He is given the undercover assignment to investigate a string of bank robberies by the ex-presidents. They are a gang of robbers who wear rubber masks of former presidents Reagan, Carter, Nixon, and LBJ. The theory is that the criminals are surfers. He infiltrates the surfing community and learns to surf from orphan surfer and restaurant waitress Tyler. He meets Bodie through her. Bodie is the charismatic leader of a gang of surfers. Utah is accepted when Bodie recognizes him as a former college football star who quit due to a knee injury. He finds out that the group are the ex-presidents. They find out he is an FBI agent. To know how it ends, you need to watch the movie. This film was the start for Keanu to build on action movies. He had two other movies in 1991. The sequel Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey and the adventure drama My Own Private Idaho with River Phoenix. In 1992, he co-starred in Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Anthony Hopkins. He had four lesser-known films released in 1993. His next big hit was the action movie Speed with Sandra Bullock in 1994. This film was a commercial and critical success. He plays LAPD SWAT bomb disposal officer Jack Traven. The story is about a bomber who is looking for a payday. His initial attempt was an elevator, but Jack and his partner Harry rescue the people before the bomb goes off. The majority of the movie revolves a public transit bus that is rigged to explode if the speed falls below 50 miles an hour. This movie showcases Keanu's ability to shine in action movies. It also is his first interaction with Bullock. Their chemistry is a big part of the success of the film. It is also the beginning of their lifelong friendship. His next few movies didn't do well at the box office, including Johnny Mnemonic in 1995 and Chain Reaction in 1996. In 1997, he starred in the supernatural horror film The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino and Charlize Theron. The movie is about a gifted young Florida lawyer invited to New York City to work for a major firm. As his wife becomes haunted by frightening visions, he slowly begins to realize the owner of the firm is not what he appears to be, and as in fact, the devil. It was Keanu's second role in a horror movie following Bram Stoker's Dracula. He had a huge boost to his career when he took on the role of computer hacker Neo in the sci-fi film The Matrix in 1999. This film was a commercial success and received critical acclaim. Would you choose the red pill or the blue one? I think I would be the red pill guy. The movie also stars Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Hugo Weaving, and Joe Pantalonia. I'm sure most of you already know this film. The fight choreography of this movie was influenced by anime, martial arts films, and wire fu techniques from Hong Kong action cinema. The film introduced a visual effect known as bullet time, in which the heightened perception of certain characters is represented by allowing the action within a shot to progress in slow motion while the camera appears to move through the scene at normal speed, allowing the sped-up movements of certain characters to be perceived normally. In 2000, Keanu shifted gears and took the role of Shane Falco in one of my favorite sports movies, The Replacements. He co-starred with movie legends Gene Hackman and Jack Warden in his last film appearance. The film also stars Orlando Jones and Jon Favreau. It's about a fictional pro football league that is hit with a strike with 4 games left in the season. The league decides to finish the season with replacement players. It is based loosely on the 1987 NFL strike, specifically the Washington Redskins, who won all 3 replacement games without any of the regular players and went on to win Super Bowl 22. The Falco Martell quarterback controversy was similar to the real-life one in the post-strike Redskins controversy between Doug Williams and Jay Schrader. Falco is a former All-American quarterback from Ohio State. Wait a minute. That sounds familiar. Wasn't Johnny Utah from Point Break a quarterback from Ohio State? Anyways, his career went to pieces after a lopsided Sugar Bowl loss. Falco is asked to lead the replacement players for the Washington Sentinels. I liked this movie because it had everything. Comedy, a love interest in head cheerleader Annabelle, and of course, football. This movie is just fun to watch. Keanu looked like he has played some football in the past, but in fact, he admits he never played. Keanu had a few more movies over the next few years, but nothing spectacular. In 2013, he had not 1, but 2 sequels to The Matrix. The Matrix Reloaded received generally positive reviews from critics, but was not quite at the level of the first film. Most of the cast returned and had the addition of Jada Pinkett Smith. The movie still made money and was the highest grossing R-rated movie at the time. Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus are back to prevent the crash of The Matrix. 6 months later, the 3rd installment came out. The Matrix Revolutions brings back the cast. Neo battles Mr. Smith again. Smith intends to destroy both the Matrix and the real world, and gains the Oracle's power when he assimilates her. After a protracted fight, Neo appears to concede to Smith and allows himself to be assimilated. A surge of energy is sent into Neo's body, which causes the Neo-Smith clone, then all the other Smith clones, to be destroyed. This movie did not fare as well as the other 2. It was criticized for focusing on special effects over characterization. Really? Special effects being the main part of the Matrix movies? I would have never guessed. After that, his films over the next several years were not very popular and were not quite the A-list quality that he had experienced. The Lake House in 2006 gave him the chance to work with Sandra Bullock again. It wasn't until 2014 that he found a film that critics considered a comeback for Keanu. John Wick received positive reviews for its style and action sequences. This film played to his acting strengths. John was once a hitman and was renowned and feared in the criminal underworld and referred to as the Baba Yaga. He is a relentless man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. He is brought out of retirement when the son of a Russian mobster and his guys decide to break into John's home to steal his 1969 Mustang. John is assaulted, and they kill the puppy that his deceased wife arranged for him to get when she died. Oh, and they steal the car too. John gets his stash of weapons and gold coins. The Russians send a hit squad to his home, but John kills them all. He goes to the Continental to stay. As you may already know, the Continental is a luxurious hotel that serves as neutral ground for the underworld, where conducting criminal business is forbidden. I'm sure you know the rest of the story. Keanu's portrayal is fantastic. In fact, it was the beginning of a successful franchise. After several more so-so films over the next couple years, it is the 2nd installment of John Wick. John Wick Chapter 2 came out in 2017. The film received positive reviews again. They praised the action sequences, direction, editing, visual style, and the performances of the cast, particularly Keanu. The fight sequences are incredible. John is again the target of the bad guys. They still haven't figured out that he refuses to be killed, no matter how badly he is injured. Keanu reunites with the Matrix alum Lawrence Fishburne in this one. John breaks the rules of the Continental and is declared excommunicado, which basically means he is open game to any hitman with a contract. Keanu continued to stay busy with smaller scale films for the next 2 years. In 2019, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum brings him back. John has a bounty on his head again. This guy can't catch a break. John is again unkillable as he eliminates each attempt on his life. Halle Berry is added to the cast as Sophia, an ex-assassin and friend of John's. Some of the best scenes involve her 2 Belgian Malinois dogs. These dogs are so well trained. They literally steal the fight scenes that they are involved in. John is shot and falls to the street below. He is assumed dead, but he is secretly delivered to the Bowery King, and they join forces against the High Table. In the same year, Keanu appears in Toy Story 4 as the voice of Duke Kaboom, the stuntman toy. He literally, during the audition, jumped up on the table and posed to convince them to give him the role. The following year, he reprised his role for Bill and Ted Face the Music. Now, I am a fan of Keanu, but I think he did this movie more for sentimental reasons than anything else. It was his breakthrough role that got him to where he is. I have to be honest. Keanu, keep the facial hair. I know we are around the same age, but being clean shaven really shows your age. Hey, that's why I keep mine. It was a great idea, but Bill and Ted had their time. Now they're just a couple of old guys still trying to make it in music. In 2021, Matrix Resurrections came out. The fourth installment of the franchise just did not have the punch of the previous three. It lost money at the box office and was considered a disappointment. In 2022, Keanu had his chance to play Bruce Wayne, Batman. Okay. It was only his voice in the animated DC League of Super Pets. Which brings us to this year, the fourth installment in the popular John Wick series. John Wick Chapter 4 allows Keanu to complete his character story. John is, of course, the target of assassins. He kills the Elder, the one who sits above the high table. Because he did this, he has a bounty on his head for every assassin to collect. High Table member Marquise Gromont enlists Kane to kill his old friend John. I like the addition of Donnie Yen to the cast. He is one of Hong Kong's top action stars. The Marquis challenges John to a duel. Prior to the duel, the Marquis places a $26 million bounty on him to prevent him from arriving at the duel on time. Every assassin is gunning for John. I'll tell you what, the battle to get to the duel was grueling. The fight scenes on the steps seemed like they would never end. Poor John would get up a few steps and another assassin would attack him. Just out of curiosity, can you guess how many enemies John kills in this film? It was around 140 assassins. I don't know about you, but if it was me, I would have known better than to attempt to kill John Wick. So, we have made it through his career. He has been in over 70 movies. You have to admire his work ethic and commitment. I also wanted to talk about Keanu as a person. He is not your usual celebrity. He rides the subway in New York without an entourage or bodyguards. He once gave up his seat on a crowded subway to a woman with a large bag. He is respectful when taking pictures with women. He doesn't touch or hold them, choosing to hover his hand behind him so he doesn't invade their space. He called the audience breathtaking when a fan yelled out that he is breathtaking. Keanu one time jumped out of a car as he was on his way to set to autograph a handmade sign for a fan. He once bought an ice cream so that he could autograph the receipt for a young fan. Sandra Bullock revealed that Keanu once bought her champagne and truffles because she had never had them before. He secretly donates large sums of money to children's hospitals. Keanu has no problem taking pay cuts if it means talented actors can join the production. He even gifted a dozen stuntmen from The Matrix with Harley-Davidson motorcycles to thank them. Keanu has proven time and again that he is the nicest guy in many ways. The guy has proven that nothing is out of reach. He has been in a band. He has been involved in video game production, in addition to his acting career. He has had some ups and downs in his personal life. I really thought that the chemistry between Sandra Bullock and Keanu would have developed into more. However, they seem to be really good friends, even though they both admitted on the Ellen DeGeneres show that they had crushes on each other while filming Speed. What is your opinion on Keanu Reeves? Is he man, myth, or legend? Let me know in your comments. Until next time, see you soon, and let's go to the movies.